All right. We should be live. Uh MLH here. Bernie's next to me. Hi Bernie. She's tired, y'all. Um let's have a peaceful day. Um how can we have peaceful days? More peaceful days than not is going to be the subject today. I'll wait for a few people to get on in. Let me make sure I'm live. I'm sure I am. But let's have a good day today. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a Ellie is first. What's up, Ellie? Let me give you the link in chat. Let's do this. Let's give you this link, y'all. Um, this is gonna be a very peaceful, a very hopefully enlightening panel. It's nice to see you, Jack Brown. Nice to have you in there. The link is in there. Let me see if I can pin this. No, I cannot. I can block myself apparently. But I cannot pin it. McDonald, welcome. Nice to have you in here. Good morning, Secret Agent Man. Who else am I missing? I think I got everybody. I just thought I'd make a quick panel, maybe about an hour long or a little bit less. Hope everybody's having a great day. You know, not everything has to be contentious or drama filled or anything of that nature. So, you know, let's see. What do we got here? Pin message. There we go. I pinned it. What's up, Lucinator? Nice to have you in here. Today's topic is how do we achieve peace? And I don't mean like world peace or anything like that because, you know, there's always going to be some type of conflict, but I'm talking about individuality. You know, I'm talking about how we can avoid a lot of the drama filled nonsense that's in all of our lives on a seems like a day-to-day basis. Ellie, what's up? How you doing? How you feeling, Ellie?
Good morning. I'm okay. How are you?
I'm all right. Hey, oh, shoot, hold on. I gotta fix my settings. I'm getting an echo. I think I know what the problem is. Hang tight there, darling.
Good morning,
Yeah.
Strange and Unusual, and Jack and Lucinator always, Secret Agent Man, McDonald. How's everybody doing this morning?
Better now. Better now. Well, it seemed like we were panel hunting or live stream hunting, Ellie. We met each other
Yeah,
quite a
we were,
few
we
days.
were, we were channel hopping.
Yeah. Um, which is uh par for the course, you know. Elbow cough. Lucinator, what's up, man? Strange, what's going on, man? Just a quick panel. I didn't have much to do today, so Ellie came up with a really good idea for a panel. How to have peace in your day. You know, I'm not talking world peace. A lot of drama out there, a lot of
Peace in
stuff.
these YouTube streets.
Yeah. I mean, there is no end game to it, Ellie. I thought about that. I mean, it's always, there's always going to be somebody beefing with somebody, somebody having an issue with somebody, like even in talking about, what I do when I'm out there doing what I do, there's never any real dramaless streams. Even when nothing happens, like let's say I take a Colfax run, right? And I'm going up Colfax and I don't find any cops, right? That doesn't take away from the fact that there's, on any given day 50 people or more on the side of the roads without a home, stuff like that. And I do get bogged down from that from time to time, even when I'm doing homeless outreach or stuff like that. But there's always you always have to find some sort of peaceful way to reconcile a lot of that, and reconcile that there always is going to be ugly, when you're out there. But it's the good things that you have to hold on to get you through your days. You know, I've talked about mental health quite a bit, Ellie, and it can become a hermit. Secret Agent Man says, "Yeah, become a hermit." Um, it it does become uh, like an albatross right around your neck, but you have to find the good and hold on to the good stuff when it comes to getting through your day, because there's a lot of ugly, even when nothing is going on. um, you know it becomes hard to
But
distinguish.
here's what I don't understand. You're correct. There is a lot of ugly, but why create it?
Yeah, see, that's
Why
well,
is it necessary to create that? I don't understand. It's, being in What's Truth chat today, and, people saying that you have to choose a side. Why do you have to choose a side? Why can't you just be respectful of other people? I mean, I know that it sounds naive and I know that it sounds silly to people, but I just don't get it. It's this is
well,
like a series,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and there's a script. So with a script, there has to be an agenda, So what is the agenda, and how do you stop it? Do you really want to hold hate and ugliness in your heart and spread it to others to where they have to choose? I don't understand that, because if you ask me to make a choice, you technically have made that choice for me.
Right, right. And I hate that kind of thinking. It's a here. Well, here's the deal. I'm going to use an old cop line, Ellie. Some people have to have that, right? That's their drug of choice. I don't know if it's the adrenaline that they get by attacking other people, or um the rush, right? The adrenaline rush that somebody gets from getting into an argument, and there are people like that. I mean, in that panel, there was definitely some of that. There was a lot of yelling. I mean, he who shall not be named, that's the MO, just yell, 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 yell over people, and that's that person's way of getting the high. You know what I mean? And they have to have that high. But what you're saying, Ellie, is like, why can't we just be on the outside and form our own opinions and not have to pick a side one way or another? There are certain righteous causes. Regan, what's up? Good morning.
Well, and that's exactly it. You mentioned Regan. If you want to hate something, then why don't you hate the way government treats the unhoused? Why don't you hate the way they go after them, to generate revenue and to make themselves feel better? Why don't you hate that
Right.
instead of hating each other? If we're not going to be on the same side, we're going to feed right into what they want. It
Yeah.
makes no sense. I need somebody to explain it to me, because it just breaks my heart. There's so much more we could do with this energy out there than to be fighting and creating soap operas on YouTube's instead of, and attacking people's families and children, instead of, attacking the problems that we're all facing. How
Right.
many people can say that they are not one paycheck away from being homeless?
Right.
I just don't get it. I don't get it. And it infuriates me and makes me so angry that you find silliness to fight over, and you call each other names, and you attack families, and you attack children, and calling people pedos, just to put that out there. When if you spent just 1/10 of that percent of energy that you do on spreading that hate to help somebody who is in need, this world could really start making a change. But if you don't do that, you're part of the problem,
Yeah.
not part of the solution.
Well, look, Ellie, like they always say, like in commercials on TV, sex sells, right? I mean, and it's true. It's an age-old addict. If you put a pretty woman and a pretty man on screen to sell your beer, it's going to sell better than if you put an average person, right? I think YouTube works almost in the same way. If you are if you're pining for likes and subs and comments and all that stuff, it's always better to start in with the ad hominems and personal attacks. The drama sells, right? So I I mean I fully I fully believe that. It's if you're not either create, and a lot of it is created, Ellie, and that's the problem. The created stuff is, there's enough drama in the real world on its own without people creating more drama, right?
But if drama sells, okay, and people like that,
Yeah.
then why not support the people who are in need and the unhoused? Because the drama that you see, for example, in Denver's finest and in Philly on KNA, where you can go blocks and blocks and see people, that are all strung out, why can't that be the outrage that people see? I mean, I don't understand why
Because
there's not outrage.
there's nothing to gain by it, Ellie. You see what I'm saying? like
But
like
wouldn't you feel better in your heart if you could help one person?
100.
Doesn't I don't understand why that doesn't make people feel good. I mean, if I can help somebody, even if it's just to give them a bottle of cold water, I feel good.
Right, right. And that's a lot of why I take the time almost every Monday to go out and make it a point to, um, you know, um, to hand out water or food to people, because it makes me feel better. I don't need justification from anyone else. I don't need any extra drama. I mean, these people are dealing with enough drama as it is on the street. I don't thrive off of that, is what I'm saying. And there are others uh, that that's their MO. They thrive off of that. It's an adrenaline rush, Ellie. That's all it is, plain and simple. And they can't channel their efforts to good causes because it doesn't give them the same adrenaline rush that some of these drama filled panels and drama beefs and YouTube screech types shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a cycle, and it always will be that way. Jack Brown, I agree with you 100%. Never trust any law enforcement officer ever. And I preach that to the high heavens even when I'm out there. I always tell people, don't talk to the cops. You want to talk about drama. that's that's a drama filled world in itself. I mean,
I hope it's okay that I just posted Regan's nonprofit links
yeah,
in chat. If you could donate even $1 could buy a bottle of water for somebody in need.
yeah,
It
yeah.
starts with just one thing, that if we could all do that and make a difference. I understand times are tough, but if you can't afford $1, I'm sure if you digged in your couch or in your cushions, you could find $1 to be able to make somebody's day today.
You know, it
Buy a donut for somebody or a pack of crackers. If you don't have, and I don't know anybody who doesn't have unhoused around them, if you think that, you just choose not to see it,
right, right.
you know,
Eh,
but everybody can make a difference with $1.
You know what's funny is and also that dollar works differently for Regan. All right, if you gave $1 to like a government charity, or a government charity, what am I even saying? There are no government charities. But like, let's say you give $1 to the government, you may get 50 cents worth on your return, right? Because 50 cents is already written off as administrative cost or whatever red tape bullshit, right? If you send $1 to Regan, Regan makes that dollar stretch out to 10. So it does make a difference. Obviously, the more dollars, the better. But you know, it's it's always best to just think about these things when you're opening up your wallet. And I mean, it's crazy, Ellie. I see people I saw a stream earlier, and I don't want to say the stream because I don't want to give anybody a bad name. It's not there was nothing nefarious or bad, but I mean somebody put in $100 super chat, right? And I'm like, well, that's really good for the person that is doing that stream. They do great work, et cetera, et cetera. But I mean, that $100 could have been sent to Regan. You know what I mean? And Regan could have turned that $100 into $1,000. The
And Mike put something important in there. Mike Stevens put, I was going to help a homeless woman once, but it was obvious that she had pride. And if I were to hand her money, I'm afraid I would have taken her dignity. She was a lady. Here's the thing. Sometimes it's not even money. How
yeah,
about, and if you're worried about that, why don't you ask her, hi, how are you? My name is Mike. How are you doing today? Is there anything that I can do to help you? And let her tell you. Because
yeah,
pride that's a good point. There are people who do have pride and they don't want to ask for help. So they suffer in silence. But
yeah.
if you just take them aside and ask them, is there anything I could do for you? Would you like to have lunch? Or, have you eaten today? Would you like a cup of coffee or something? Just having a conversation. But people, for some reason, are afraid of these people and they're afraid to say hello. I've seen it myself where, they put their head down and they turn the other way or cross the street because they're scared they're going to catch something and they can't be near them. It is so sad.
Yeah. Yeah. It really is. Look, Regan's just said something here. This is important. Our Broncos just sold for $4.5 billion yesterday to Robert Walton, right? And he wants a new stadium. Give Regan the old stadium, fully tax deductible. Anybody have an in to Robert? See, that's a good point. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to tear down that old stadium, right? If they end up getting a new, which if Robert Walton wants one, money talks, bullshit walks, right? So if he gets a new stadium, they're just going to demolish the old one. I mean, why can't we use that? If we demolish it, why can't we use that land to have safe parking? I've said this for a long time. Like, we need a 5 mile radius, within not maybe not within city limits, but very close. Because why would we want to shun people, right?
But see, here's the thing. You shouldn't even have to need safe parking. Think about that. You shouldn't have to need that.
Right.
There shouldn't be where, okay, we'll give you a little spot off of the street in an area that nobody sees. Do you know how many abandoned hotels there are or motels that you could convert, make them look beautiful, and then help them become part of society again? And it starts with mental health. People keep thinking
Oh,
these
no
people
doubt.
want to be out there on the street. And that, I'm going to be honest, and I'm sorry for my language, but it pisses me the F off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be homeless. When they say that to you, okay, it's because they're trying to fool themselves
Right.
because they feel so loath within themselves because society has made them feel that way. Nobody in their right mind would want to be unhoused. Nobody wants to worry about where they're going to eat or where they're going to go to the bathroom or what clothes they're going to wear or when's the next day they can take a shower or even wash their hand. I mean, think about it. COVID shutdowns went on for how long where public bathrooms were shut down. And
Oh,
then you
yeah.
complain that these people go to the bathroom outside. Well, where would you like them to go
Right.
to the
Right.
bathroom? Is
Right.
anybody going to open their door and say, excuse me, would you like to use my bathroom? Would you like to wash up?
Right.
Of course not.
Right.
How disgusting is that?
Right. It's funny, Ellie. I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you guys remember my live streams going up and down Colfax with Bernie, and Bernie had to use the restroom. She couldn't find one business that was willing to let her use the restroom, and it's like that's insane. What is she supposed to do? She's got a small bladder. Like it's disgusting. It. I mean, and to worry about, I mean, yesterday I was with Regan, right? You guys saw that one too, I'm assuming. And they have rules. They have like certain, like, I guess it's like a local ordinance or bylaw or fucking building code or whatever the hell they want to talk about it, where if you stink you can't go to the library. And I'm like, how insane is that? What if in a government building, right, which we pay for, a homeless person can't go into the bathroom and freshen up? Are you out of your mind?
But well, here's the thing though, because I saw that. I was there. I want to know, or somebody to give me the definition and what the uh, smell-o-vision is
Right.
on somebody who smells. What smells?
Right. You
Is
know
it
what?
body odor? Is it perfume? Is it the smell of their clothes? Is it their
Right.
aftershave? Is it the soap that they use? Is it the conditioner in their hair? Is it because they smoke, whether it's cigarettes or vaping or something, or
Mhm.
marijuana, whatever it is. Who gets to depict what odor is offensive and what is not?
Well, that's I look, when I told my mom about this yesterday, Ellie, and my mom had, she obviously wasn't in the stream. She's an old school woman, right? And she was thinking about that, and she was like, "Wait a minute. They kick you out if you smell? Like, who determines that? Like, what is the criteria for smelling bad? And this is all from her, like, logically, like her logical mind, like thinking about, like, the repercussions of that. You know what I mean? And it's true. Like what who like you said, Ellie, who determines who smells and who doesn't, and what are the smell criteria? I mean, if somebody doesn't like Old Spice, could that be considered being able to be kicked out? I mean, it's insane. Like, these people are crazy. Like, when I got there, I had just got done handing out food, right? And I was sweaty, and I probably didn't smell the greatest. I mean, I had underarm deodorant, but I mean, I literally had sweat on my face and arms and stuff, and my hands weren't exactly the cleanest in the world, and I had dropped a chocolate donut on my pants, so it looked like the front of my pants was full of some brown. What is that? And I'm like, am I going to get kicked out of this building? Why would I get kicked out of this building? I don't think I smelled bad, but maybe by somebody else's standard. What if one person went by me and didn't notice anything, and then another person complained? Like, I mean, I was thinking about this. What if I dress up? What if I went to the Goodwill and got some ratty clothes, right? Perfectly clean, and I smelled okay. And I got some ratty clothes, and I kind of ratted up my hair, and I went in. Would I get kicked out? Would I get kicked out of a Inglewood library because I look unkempt, you know?
And what if it's because of something you ate? There are certain foods that you can eat that can, pour through your skin. What if you had something that had garlic on it? So you're not allowed in? Is it just a body smell or is it a breath smell too? I mean, sometimes people can't help it too. Sometimes it's a medical condition.
Yeah.
What if you accidentally let one rip because you have gas or something? So are you kicked out of that building because, you tooted? I
Right.
mean, because I don't know anybody. I mean, maybe there are people I don't know that can hold their farts in or let them rip on demand. And I know that this sounds silly, but who are people to make those decisions? Hi, King Solomon. How are you? Hi, Ellen B. I just don't get who gets to be the dictatorship on smell.
Well, apparently it's the city attorney, because the city attorney signed off on all those rules and regulations for that building. And
Well, who made that person? Who made? I believe it was Sean Lewis, right? Who made him the person in charge on smells?
right.
I mean, is there smell anywhere in the law? Did I
It's
see smell in the Constitution, any
no,
of the amendments, the Bill of Rights, anywhere? Is
right.
there a code that says what the smell barometer is? Because I would like to see that. I would truly like to challenge that. You can say somebody, and then you're telling somebody because they are, less fortunate and have a um, financial issues in their life, that if you cannot afford to be housed and you cannot afford to have a shower, then you are not allowed within a government building that you do pay taxes on, because even if they have disability money or anything else, there is still tax for it. They're still taxpayers. The minute they buy anything, I don't know what Colorado's tax percentage is, whether it's 6%, 7%, or whatever it is,
Oh,
but
it's
they
like
are
8%. It's a little over
8%. Okay,
8%.
so they are taxpayers.
Yeah.
Okay, every time that they have or are forced by a corrupted police department to generate revenue
Right.
for not being able to move along, and get cited because they want to keep warm, they are taxpayers when they have to pay that. When they go into the legal system or when they go into jail, the every state, that is, jails are a moneymaker. So they
Yeah.
get money for every time that they house somebody in jail.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is money. Why are you telling those people that for a building that they helped build, they are not allowed into it because they cannot afford on what you feel is acceptable?
I make this point all the time, Ellie. They are taxpayers, and I made this analogy before with quote unquote illegal immigrants. I don't think anybody is illegal, but you know, those people have to buy products, right, from stores, so they're paying taxes too, even though they don't get benefits. It's the same with homeless people. Homeless people don't get the benefits of the taxes they pay when they go in and they buy a pack of cigarettes or they buy water or
Well, and
food.
think about the tax-paying dollars that when they do get a public pretender, and the taxpayers pay for that, including them. So they are paying for it. The attorney's not free. Their taxpayers are paying for that. But yet they're told they're not allowed in. I'm going to be honest. I don't care if there's trolls in the chat or something. Be honest with yourself and explain that. Explain why you have the right. But people who are not financially successful, according to government or standards of rich people, why they don't have the right to go into a building that, to be honest, the rich people don't pay for them because they have so many tax
Tax
loopholes
loopholes.
that they
Yeah,
get money back.
100, 100.
They get gifts from us, the taxpayers.
Right, right, right. A good analogy on this,
Hey,
Ellie.
Jamie.
A good analogy is um, Reagan. Do you remember when Reagan was on that street, Tennessee, and they were they were giving the homeless a hard time for parking on the other side of the street where there was some businesses and it wasn't. I think it was that week they put up these bogus no parking signs.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Right?
The
You
one where
remember?
that business had that big banner letting
Yes,
everybody know
yes,
that
yes,
they
yes.
were on thing. Yes,
Right.
absolutely. I remember
It,
that. And the
it's
fake signs, those signs were not even legitimate
right.
signs.
They're not. And I think Ghostwriter was helping Regan on
Correct.
getting information on that and help taking those down because they're illegal for one. I mean anybody can put up a sign, right? But for the city to do it without approval of however they do it, was a bunch of BS. But the point I'm making is it's a double standard, right? They don't want the homeless people parking there. But if you go there right now, I've driven by it several times, and that now they have signs you can't park there between um, certain hours, right? Uh, Alan, I see you trying to get up here. Um, I don't know what's going on with Alan's trying to get on. If you're listening, Alan, get back out and then try to allow the StreamYard to work, and then we'll get you up here. Um, but you know what it is? Oh, there we go. Here we go. Alan, welcome
Hi,
on in.
Ellen. Good morning, honey.
I think it's afternoon where Alan is. Do you hear us,
Or
Alan?
good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, good. I
It's
knew.
yeah, hi, Ellie.
We hear you.
You have to mute your YouTube.
Yeah, mute the
Not your
YouTube.
StreamYards, but your YouTube because it's echoing.
Yeah.
You have to mute your YouTube. Not your StreamYards, but your YouTube because it's echoing.
Yeah, if you can mute the YouTube link, that'll help out,
On
Alan.
YouTube.
Yeah. So not the StreamYards. Just go to the YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah. Go to the YouTube and mute that, and then we'll be good to go. Um. So
is that it?
so not the StreamYards. No. Just go to the YouTube.
Are you on a phone, Alan?
I've got the TV on and I've got you on the laptop.
Okay.
Okay, so pause your TV.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pause the
right.
TV. Yeah.
Are you on a phone, Alan?
No, I'm on the laptop and I'm on the TV. So I turn
Yeah.
the telly off. Hold on.
Okay, so
Off the telly's off now.
Okay. Now mute the YouTube on your laptop, and you should be good to go.
Okay, let me walk them through it. You should have on the top of your computer, you should have different tabs open. This one automatically opened when you open StreamYard. So just click on the other tab that you have open where it says YouTube, and you can either X out of that or you can mute it.
Yeah.
It won't close you out of StreamYard. Other tab that you have open.
Yeah.
Your computer says YouTube, and you can either X out of that or you can mute it.
All right. I'm gonna mute you for just a minute until you get that taken care of, Alan. All right. No, but what I was saying, Ellie, there's a double standard because now on that same street, I can go there right now, right? And there are 10 cars lined up there because the businesses, it's probably convenient for the business owners or the people that work in those businesses to park on that street. Why is that allowed? You see what I'm saying?
Well, who gets to depict where you park? Nobody else is parked there. Why is that even an issue? Nobody else is parked there. Why is it bothering anybody? Because you don't want to look at them, because then you have to face the fact that you are part of the problem and not the solution. And you don't want to look at it because it makes you look at yourself. When you look at the homeless, it's like looking in a mirror, and it scares people.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. What's up, Tapa? What's up, Minton State? Nice to have you in there. The topic we're discussing today is peace. How can we find peace amidst all the drama?
I think King Solomon has a question because he put Ellie question mark.
Yeah. What's up, King Solomon? The link to the show is Alan. Come on back to the show. I mean, it's not. I mean, you just got to mute your YouTube, my friend, and then you'll be good to go. Come on up, Alan. We'd like to hear your thoughts. If anybody else wants to join the panel, I've got room for 4 more people. It's pinned up at the top there. Just click on that link. Make sure you mute your YouTube, and you will be on the show. We're discussing on how to have a little bit of peace amongst all the drama that goes on either on the YouTube streets or in real life.
And here's a question to think about. Let's say you took one homeless person, okay, and they went and showered and had a little makeover. Do you realize that you wouldn't be afraid of them? But because they look different and disheveled, you're afraid.
Yeah.
You can help fix that. Help fix your fear.
Yeah.
You can help. Everybody can make a difference. You can't rely, and I'm sorry, but I have to say this, you cannot rely on government to fix the housing issue because they will not. They don't want to. It's not in their benefit because financially, every area gets money from taxpayers for the homeless, but yet less than 10% of that money that they get is actually spent on benefiting anybody. They make up flyers for programs that are non-existent. But that's a cost that you pay for for the paper and the ink and the time of overtime for those pigs to actually go out and deliver those flyers.
Right.
That mean nothing. So think about that out of $1, okay, 98 cents of that is going right back to the government as expenses. It's beyond me. It's for
Yeah.
people to expect the government to do any different. And we can bitch about it all we want, but let's face it, they're not going to do anything. So I'm asking people, listen, if you just do $1 every month or $5, whatever it is you can afford, to make a commitment to help somebody. And if you don't know who you can help, there is a great nonprofit organization that Regan Benson has called Dignity Hands that you can absolutely contribute to. It, you don't have to lock yourself in. If there's a month that you can't afford it, then you don't. But it's so simple to be able to just say, I want to help somebody. How
You know,
many people want? And great, I'm a dog lover. Don't get me wrong. I have 2 dogs, and they're my life. But you have people who have no problem donating $25 a month to the animal shelters. You have people that have no problem donating to people in another country. But when do you help the people right here in your backyard that you see instead of calling the police on them?
yeah.
It's beyond me.
Yeah. People can afford $20 for crappy Netflix, Ellie, but they can't find $1 to donate to good causes. It's a really strange. Matthew, welcome. Damon Reeves, welcome on in, sir. Thanks for being in there. Let's see. V Smoke, welcome. Alan B, I know you're still here, buddy. When you come up, Alan, just mute YouTube and then make sure you let StreamYards know that you have a mic at the very least. Once taxpayer money gets handed out to so-called homeless organizations, there's absolutely no chain of custody when it comes to the money. That's another
100% correct.
Yeah, that's another great point. I mean, there's so many.
And good luck trying to get the books on that, because even though it's supposed to be open to you, they will not be open to you. Because then again, money has to be taken out of that homeless fund for people who say they're going to use that as a platform and never do. So then you're contributing to their campaigns. You're contributing to the records people, because you have to pay for those, even though that it should be transparency. But there's no such thing as transparency with your government. Zero.
Yeah. There's all kinds of programs that are supposed to help the homeless, but are just money markers for whoever started them. That's another great point too. I mean, after you get past the red tape of the government, you got very little money to work with, right? And then the greedy ones. Let's get Alan. Alan, do we have you back up on the stream here?
I think so.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. What's up,
Oh,
Alan?
hi, yeah. Not too bad. I just thought I'd join the chat, say hello to Ellie and the rest of the crew, and everything cool over there. And I'm just we have the same thing over here with the tax thing. Everybody, I mean, it doesn't matter if you go to the shop or buy some fags. It's always fags and alcohol is the biggest tax revenue of the thing.
Yeah.
But the thing that I can't understand about this stupid country we live in, like England, is that you can't buy any cannabis. And how many people have you seen in A&E because I'm having a joint? You see more people in A&E because it's all alcohol or heroin like that.
I have to correct you on something, Alan. It's not a joint. It's a Camberwell carrot.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the old Camberwell carrot thing. Yeah, that's quite cool. Yeah, but it's just that I don't know whether just to open the shop up. You go to the shop, you buy what you want to buy. The owner of the shop makes some money, and the taxman gets his cut. So I don't know where the problem comes from. I mean, alcohol is it's more dangerous than anything else.
Right.
But I'm sorry, I just put that one in there. Oh, I've ballsed your bleating live thing up now. I don't understand all this stuff. So sorry for waffling on. Go on, Ellie. Say something before I go mad.
Well, I just looked something up while you were speaking, and I looked up, a nonprofit organization that everybody loves to contribute to, and I'm sure everybody in chat has heard, called the American Red Cross.
Yes.
Well, do you know that the CEO makes nearly $652,000 in 2022 while spending 9 cents of every dollar that it collects on people in need?
Yeah.
9
there you go.
cents.
Yeah.
But he
That
makes
says it all.
$652,000. Please explain to me why anybody needs to make $652,000 a year. I mean, it's nice to have money, but please tell me what you could possibly need in your life that you cannot live without, that you need to earn $652,000 a year. And that's as of 2 years ago. So I'm sure it's more than that.
Yeah.
Probably $1 million now.
Well, let's think about that, right? Corporations are going to corporate, right? And it's a good point. That's supposed to be a nonprofit, yet you got a CEO making 650,000 a year, where people like Ellie who are running their own nonprofit, which turns $1 into sometimes
You
$1,000.
mean Regan?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Regan. I'm sorry, I was looking at your
Yeah.
avatar, Ellie. But Regan, you got Regan running Helping Hands for Dignity coalition out there, busting her ass, not making a penny. As a matter of fact, sometimes spending some of her own money, but turning that money, every bit of the money that goes into that nonprofit, into $100. You know what I'm saying? Stretching that dollar into 10, sometimes $100.
Exactly.
It makes no sense. And then you got the red. I agree with you. I got a story about the Red Cross, actually, Ellie. Years ago, my mom, and this is before I was born. The story is, it's a little fuzzy, but I get the gist of it, right? There was a big flood in Denver. They lived kind of by where like by Broadway and stuff, but there was a big flood, right? It was back in I believe the 60s, mid 60s, late 60s. And it ruined my grandparents' house, right? And my grandfather went to the Salvation Army and the Red Cross. Between those two organizations, you know what they gave him? They gave him a mop and a bucket and sent him on his way. A mop and a bucket. Here you go. That'll take care of the flooding. That'll take care of the 4 kids that you gotta feed and house somehow, because where are you gonna live now? I mean, so they were out on their ass, and the all the Red Cross and the Salvation Army could muster was a mop and a bucket. So
it's terrible.
Yeah,
I'd just like to say that I think that if people are listening, what I actually do is with Reagan is to cut out the middleman. So if you send a donation through the post, like I do, you will the YouTube thingy bob won't get their 40%. If you see where I'm coming from, is that true or not? Or am I just making all this up?
30%. You mean the super?
Oh, 30%. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm just thinking, like, if you just send the donation directly, but obviously Mexican Long Year, you have to send these in these cash apps and whatever the apps they do.
Yeah, there's
yeah. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, Alan, like we actually didn't we talk about this before, Ellie, about the YouTube tax. YouTube taxes 30% on any super chats or anything of that nature. It's not 40, it's not 50, it's not 60 as some have claimed. It's 30%, which is still a healthy chunk of money. That's as much money as Colorado charges for weed. They charge almost. I mean, most of the money, 30% of your money, if you go to the dispense, it's why I grow my own, because I can't take paying 30% on top of the money I'm already paying, and 30% of that going to the fucking government. It just doesn't make sense.
Exactly. It's just they always want their cut. It's like anything in this world. If they don't get their nose into them, tax. I mean, you go to prison if you don't pay your taxes. I presume they do it over here. I presume over there as well. You try and like 20 quid or £500. When you're like a rash. Yeah, all these other big companies just don't pay any tax at all. They've got their PO box in bleeding Switzerland.
Yeah,
And it's just a little tiny box.
It's
I
true.
just looked up, I'm sorry, I just looked up some more nonprofit CEOs. Now, these are ones that most of you probably would not have heard, but just to shine some light on it, okay? So the CEO of Kaiser Foundation Health Plan, Inc., his annual salary, and these are as of 2018, so they are 4 years ago. Please understand that, 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
His annual salary is $15,709,853 with other expenses not included of $2,173,780.
Well,
that is Bernard Tyson.
Yeah.
Now you have Delta Dental Plan of Michigan. That's Laura. She's the CEO and president. She makes $14,842,204 with other compensations of $23,592. You have the United States Steel and Carnegie Pension Fund with W. Donovan, who gets $13,423,001 because that $1 is important. You have Memorial Health Systems, that's Eager Curtis, who makes $10,604,807 with compensation of others of $140,392. American Petroleum Institute, Jack Gerard, he's the president and CEO, makes $10,604,807, but his compensation of others, with being health plans and such, of $64,886. You have the Pro Health Care, Susan Edwards. She gets a whopping $8,750,430 and other compensation of $41,015. St. Luke, again, St. Luke's system, they're going to be nonprofit, $8,530,470, other compensation of $33,671. Just those people alone, and the list goes on, that could help tremendously, but will donate zero.
Yeah.
Tell me why you need that much money in a year, not a lifetime, people. This is in a year, and you can't sit back and look to help your neighbor.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross. And not to mention, Ellie, that most of these CEOs have clauses. So if they get fired for cause or no cause, they have golden parachutes, right? And those golden parachutes are worth anywhere in between like 1 million to 20 million to 50 million. You want to talk about sick? There's a guy that is, and this is not nonprofit related. I know you were talking nonprofit, but they all have these golden parachutes. Authority check, welcome on in. These golden parachutes are crazy. Like there's a CEO of Activision Blizzard, right? He's like a multi-millionaire over and over and over. I think he's almost a billionaire. He has a golden parachute clause in his contract where if he gets fired, he gets $50 million. So and stock worth upwards of 100 million or somewhere close to that. So imagine that. You get fired for cause. Let's say you're sexually harass somebody at work and they fire you and they reward you with with all that.
Can you look 1 second in the private chat for me?
I'm looking right now and I'm taking care of it right now. Continue.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
No,
you were talking. No. I just went. AC, can you type something else in chat, please?
I'm working on. No, I got it. It's taken care of. There you go. There you type something in chat, AC, please. But yeah, so yeah, can you imagine that you get fired for cause and they reward you with $150 million? Here you go. Here's because you effed up. KJ, welcome. Nice to have you in here. Yeah, you bet, AC.
Say thank you, MLH, for giving them sandwiches out the other day and the water to the people that need it on the streets. And Reagan and yourself and Ellie and mainly most of the people on this channel do good things to their neighbour and help each other. But it's a shame that the government and the people that have got the cash don't really want to. That's the trouble with money. They, they want. It's like a tax return for them. I mean, if they can save £5 on a £1 million tax, they'll take it. They'll save that £5. The manufacturing industry, and the same thing is if they can manufacture an item for a penny less in one country instead of your country, they would just ship it all over because they can save a penny less on each item. It's just pure greed.
I have a question for you, Alan. How does homelessness work out in England? How do they handle?
Well, we don't really. It is a problem, but it's more for people that you've chosen that sort of lifestyle. It's hard for some of these people to, as you probably know, when they're on the situation they haven't got anywhere to go, then they put them in a hostel, and then they put them into temporary accommodation, and then the next step you get your own flat. Well, in my position years ago, when I was in temporary I was in a hotel, and then they put me in temporary accommodation, and then they give me a flat where I live now. So the homelessness is there, but not as extreme as over in the US, where you've got no social security. You see, in this country, everybody's entitled to benefits, social security, healthcare. It's all free. Where it's over in the States, it's more of you're on your own. Because everybody in this country, when they go to work, they pay national insurance. That is the contribution you make just in case you lose your job and you've got something. The government give you money like benefits and sort of thing like that. But what I can see and what I've learned, what I think I've learned, is that over in your country, it's more of a on your. I'm all right, Jack. Don't worry about the rest of them. And am I missing the trick here? Because there's no even if you go to hospital, I mean, you've got to say this. I don't know if it's true or not, but you're thinking, well, if I go to the hospital, I've got to pay £1,000 for this, or $1,000 for that, $1,000, 10,000 for this. But over here, they just pick you up an ambulance, go to the hospital, fix you up, send you home. That's it. All free.
There's no look. This is another problem here, Alan. We don't have any protections for mental health or physical health. So, like for example, myself, I don't have insurance. Right here, it's privatized insurance, Alan, which is the problem. Right, it costs a lot of money to get health insurance here, which nobody can afford. Right, nobody can afford the insurance over here. You have to be tied to an employer. And this is another insane thing about our country. You are tied to your employer with health insurance that you pay exorbitant amount of money from your paycheck in order to get decent health care. And it's not even great. Yeah. And a lot of times they'll deny your claims. So we don't have universal health care is what I'm telling you, Alan. It's crazy.
It's just a mad situation. The only reason that they're not having it the way that we have it over here is that the people that are doctors, hospitals, they're all in there to make money. They're not really there to. Well, obviously they fix people and they help people with this, that, and the other. But as you say, if you've got mental health problems, or you just had a heart attack, or you chop your leg off or whatever, you just go to the hospital over here, no questions asked.
Right.
And I don't know what over in the States, it's all asked about face. It doesn't make sense.
It's insanity, Jamie, Alan. It's insanity. I'm looking at Jamie's comment here. He says, because this is a capitalist country, it's a mentality of everyone for themselves. Capitalism is a double-edged sword. But see,
but even saying that, we're a capitalist country, but
England is a capitalist country as well, but they at least have healthcare and some social nets. You know, I mean, they don't.
Yeah, because exactly, because when I was working, I mean, at the end of the month, you just look at your pay slip and you see how much you got. There's no point looking at how much tax or national insurance you looked at, because that's gone anyway. So you're not going to get that back. So you look at the bottom corner, see how much I got. That's it. Because
Yeah.
everybody in this country, when they get paid, you go work, it goes through the system. Everybody that's in work pays national insurance, which is a small contribution which everybody pays into the pot. And so that if you yourself, so you could be a brain surgeon or you could be a cleaner, it wouldn't matter. You
Yeah.
still get the same. You still get the same service from the same providers, which it's worked fine so far. I can see. I don't know why
I mean, it's definitely working a lot better than here, Alan. Like, if you get picked up, like, let's say you get in a car accident, right? An ambulance picks you up and takes you to the hospital over there. I'm sure you would end up maybe with a small bill, maybe a small co-payment, maybe $100 or £100 or whatever.
No, it's all nothing. You don't pay anything.
Oh,
If an ambulance comes to no. If I phone up an ambulance now, it come around, pick me up, take me to the hospital, check me out, and then that's it. You don't pay anything. Nothing changes hands. No money gets
yeah.
exchanged
Yeah.
in the hospital over here.
Do they even ask you your information, Alan, or does it matter?
Well, they ask you, but probably you want your name. I mean,
Yeah.
they want you to know who you are, so
Yeah.
they can check you if you're, even if you're not registered with a doctor or you're not registered at all, they will still treat you. And then, like, if they're sort of like, because there is such thing as what's it called, tourist healthcare, which a lot of people do, which they come over, they take the healthcare and they go back to the original country. So the government are trying to stop that. But in the sense, if you came over here tomorrow and you got sort of say you broke your leg, just for instance, I'm not saying I hope you don't, but you break your leg, you go to the hospital, they'll just put you in plaster and they wouldn't ask for any money. There's no money exchanges in hospital at all.
Yeah, that's the way it should be. And people get upset at me when I say these things here in this country, Alan. Like I'm not a fan of any particular politician, but I really like listening to Bernie Sanders, right? I know that's a firebrand here and everybody hates Bernie Sanders, and I don't think he's a great person or anything of that nature. I like the ideas, right? I like the ideas of a higher minimum wage. I like the ideas of having universal health care, and I get called for
Yeah,
a socialist for it. And I'm like, there's nothing. I mean, if calling me a socialist is supposed to be an insult, then I'll take it. Go ahead. If I want to help other people and make everybody else's lives better, then why should
yeah.
socialism be a nasty word? You know?
But that just makes common sense, doesn't it? If everybody, you see, over in your part of the world is, I don't know, over 300 million people. So, I mean, I don't know if I'm right or not. That's just top of the head, but I think that it, my solution, the national insurance contributions, that that you'd have plenty of money. You'd have so much. If it can work over here, it works in Germany, in a couple of other countries as well. I think
Every
it's the whole of
single
Europe.
every single civilized country has universal health care except for the United States.
Well,
Even
yeah, this is this craziest thing, isn't it? I mean, they call themselves the richest country in the world, the
yeah,
biggest guns, the biggest rockets, and yet you can't even treat your own people.
I
That's
know. Well, I
coming
mean,
into hard times,
look,
and
you're
they
you're
just sort of
only right. You're only as strong as your weakest link, right? Right, Alan? I mean,
yeah,
that's how the
exactly,
saying goes. I mean, look how we treat the homeless people here. That tells you everything you need to know. I mean,
exactly.
it's insanity. I told Bernie, I said, there's a short list of countries that I would like to move to, like when we retire, when we're done doing what we need to do. I think it's time to ship off to like someplace like New Zealand or England
Yeah,
or Australia, uh,
Australia.
someplace that where the learning curve on learning the language wouldn't be all that hard. I know in
No.
England, I would have to learn a lot of like local colloquialisms and stuff like that. But you know, it would. I mean, it definitely would be interesting. I don't know how it'd work
Well,
out.
Australia's a beautiful country. It's been, and New Zealand's a beautiful country, and you know, them two choices they're you know, you'll be fine. Even in the UK, you'd be fine. But I mean, if you was gonna be, if you want the weather to be nice and warm the whole year round, Australia's your place to go. England, I mean, we don't know what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. I mean, God knows. You know what I mean?
I do like rainy weather though.
Yeah, well, I don't mind a bit of rain as long as it's not when I'm out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, just take an umbrella with you.
Well, yeah, but we're so sort of we don't men over here don't carry umbrellas. We point out, oh, you over there, get that, look at him.
Yeah. I would love.
See, here's my. Here, I have a question.
Yes.
Why should anybody have to pay anything for healthcare? Why do you have to pay for the right to live?
Yeah.
Well,
because
no, that's
the hospitals are not allowed to refuse medical treatment because of financial issues. So why do they get the right? Like Strange and Unusual put a comment in how he was sued for medical bills. How do they have the right to do that? Because they can't refuse treatment, but you should have to pay for the right to breathe.
Because insurance is for profit, Ellie.
Absolutely.
At the expense
yeah,
of
exactly.
even somebody's life. There was a Supreme Court case, Ellie, that I saw that was so fucked up. It was a trucker, right? And he got stuck in the middle of like an ice storm. And, you know, the Supreme Court ruled that the corporate interest, the corporate profit was more important than this guy freezing in his car. He abandoned his truck to survive. And they ruled that you know, he did the wrong thing by trying.
So if he sat in the van and froze to death, then it's okay. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, that's what he should not have abandoned his vehicle. He should have just stayed there. You know,
there's always a flaw. Insurance companies are the biggest bleeding con artists in the world. I mean, it's no, you know what I mean. You ask them. I don't have insurance for nothing. I don't believe in the thing. If a telly breaks down, I just go and buy a new one. You go, you know what I mean? What, you 200 quid to get a decent telly now. Yeah. And most of the white goods nowadays are cheap. But insurance companies, you've got to insure your car. Everybody in this country and your country have insured their car. And then they got the audacity to ask for a permit to park the car outside the bloody front door. Look,
Alan, you don't have to tell me about that. I mean, these poor people in these homeless sweeps, Alan. It's crazy. They try to park.
Oh no!
Apparently here, if you have any semblance of money, right, you can park your car. But if you're homeless and you have nowhere to go, oh well, it's move along. You know, we don't need your type around here. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
You and Reagan are out on the road doing great things and that, and it's great to see that that yourself and Reagan are trying to get through to the homeless. Is please do not ask if they come and knock on your. I mean, the only thing I can say on the outside looking in is if you in your caravan and you're parked and they come and knock on the door. You just open the door and they'll say, what's the blah, blah, blah. You just say, no, thank you, and close the door.
Right.
That's it. Right. And I think that all these new scams, all these, they come around sweeping these people. The poor sod is living in a tent. He's got a bleeding, you know, a tin of beans or whatever. I mean, you can't be more homeless than sitting in a tent. I mean, nobody wants to do, well, I mean, unless you're going camping. But I mean, if you're sitting on a tent or you're homeless in this country or whatever, I mean, always give them a couple of quid. To be quite frank with you, if I see him sitting on the side, I say, "It's 2 quid. Get yourself a can of beer if you want." It's not my opinion on how he lives. If I give him the £2, he can do what the hell he likes with it. And that's the way I look at things.
You know, I used to catch a lot of flack from a lot of people, Alan, about you know, why do you give money to those homeless people? All they do is go buy drugs and alcohol with it. And I'm like, look, if you live,
but that's the only thing that's keeping them alive, I should think.
Maybe that's their escape. You know, I don't want to contribute to anybody's drug problems or alcoholism or anything like that, but it's not my business. Once I hand money off to somebody, it's the reason why I don't carry cash, Alan. I never carry cash because if I have, and Bernie can attest to this, if I had $100 in my wallet in 20s or 5s or whatever, it'd be gone like in an instant because I can't help but want to help other people. You see what I mean?
No, you know, it's like myself. I mean, I'm not a rich person by any stretch of the imagination, as you probably wouldn't realise. I mean, it took me 2 years to get the internet bleeding up. But anyway, but I think that the way that the situation is over in Denver and in the San Francisco, I think people you were saying was it's against the law to be homeless. What sort of bloody laws? How can that work?
Yeah, that's Los Angeles, and it's creeping here into Denver. Alan, if you saw my stream yesterday, they have a local ordinance in Inglewood where it's illegal to quote unquote panhandle, and I'm like, so people asking for money is now illegal. They're trying to live, but you don't want to offer programs and solutions to the problem. You just want the problem to go away. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I mean, that's the level of stupidity of these people, Alan. Like and Ellie made a great point. It's all about visuals, right? If it doesn't pass the eye test, they don't want it. But they don't want to solve the problem. Like I was talking to an officer out on scene at a homeless sweep, Officer Lucero. You guys can check out that video, where I was like, you guys think that this is the solution, just moving people around? Like how does that help anybody? It's not helping. It's hurting. And it always hurts. You know, it's just stupid. Jonathan makes a good point here. He says they want to take away their ability to provide themselves by making panhandling illegal. You know, it's just
but is that panhandling? Is that begging? Is that what you mean by that?
Yeah, that's people who would like stand on a street with a sign or anything else. And here's my view on that. There are people who take advantage of that. And it's sad because you have people that, and I've seen it where, you know, they have the signs up and then they go around the corner and they get into a brand new Mercedes. Okay. But, and I don't agree with that. However, who gets to decide who you choose to give your money to and who you are not allowed to give your money to? If you don't want to contribute, then you just keep going by. But you cannot sit there and dictate if somebody else gives that money. It's like when you loan somebody money and they promise they pay you back. You have to absolutely have in your mind that you are never going to see that again. So you don't give it if you don't have it to give.
Yeah.
End of story. Exactly. But nobody has the right to tell me whether I can contribute to somebody or whether I can't, whether I can give somebody a bottle of water or whether I can allow somebody to live in my house, because that should be my decision, my choice. Nobody has the right to tell me what I can do with my money or with my time or with my house or my property. It's my decision. Yeah. That's why you have wills too.
Yeah. Strange and unusual.
Right. I mean, over in the UK, is what the begging people do. It's hard to really tell who are actually genuine or not. But you know, it is what it is. But there is a law over it for begging is illegal. So if I'm sitting down outside of Tesco's and I say, "Got any spare change?" I'm going to get arrested for that. But there's a way around that. What they do is they put a plastic, I don't know, a bit funny, but you put a plastic cup next to them. So it's all, they don't say anything. The people just sit there and say, they don't say a word. So it's up to you to go over to the plastic cup to put your £5, your pound in, or your 50p or whatever. So over on this side, that's how the begging situation is, which sounds, talking about begging, it's terrible, isn't it? Really, but there you are.
Yeah.
And it's good to hear your voice, Ellie. You're doing a great job on the internet, because I'm too slow, as you know. And every time someone says, put a link in, I'm 5 hours later, I'm trying to still do it.
Well, Alan, you've actually learned a lot since you started, man. I mean, I got to give you credit, man.
No, thank you, Max Alongi. You was the man who got me my email. Not me email, my Gmail up, my Skype up. I haven't used it yet. I've already. I know. I've had it for about 6 months. Skype. I've never used the bleeding thing. But yeah, it's great to talk to Ellie, and it's yourself, Max Alongi. But I'd just like to say, appreciate Ellie for all the hard work she does for helping Reagan and yourself on the chats and things like that, which she does.
Reagan is an invaluable member of the YouTube streets, as they say. Ellie, I know you don't.
Absolutely, because as you say, like Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition. And it was good to see her back on form the other day. So if you know what I mean, and with Ellie doing a tremendous, I'm going on and on about Ellie, but
it's all good.
I know you're making me blush.
Sorry,
I said you're making me blush.
I heard that for about 20 years.
Yeah. Well, look, guys, the theme today. And I'm going to shut this down here real soon. But the theme today was peace. How can you achieve peace in the midst of a sea full of drama, whether it be YouTube or real life? And I think peace is achieved by each individual. Do something nice for somebody for a change. Buy some water. I mean, Strange and Unusual said that at the Dollar Tree, which it's now a $1.25 tree. Which pisses me off to no end, and that could be a whole other panel. But it's $1.25 for 6 bottles of water. Buy 6 bottles of water, hand them out to people. It'll make yourself feel better. It will definitely help people in need out on the streets. And if you have any cash that you can offer up to Regan's nonprofit Helping Hands for Dignity Coalition, it's everything's listed up on the screen there. PayPal Regan Benson, or you can go to Cash App Dignity Hands, and every little bit helps to help her in her homeless outreach. She really needs donations at this moment. Like people aren't donating right now, so even as little as $1 can help her. I sound like Sally Struthers for like the dog charities and stuff, but this is a better cause. This hey, can somebody zap those comments when they come in? I don't want.
I did.
Okay, thank you. I don't want them blocked. I just want the comments zapped.
Yeah, I timed them out.
Okay, thank you. Perfect.
Andrew, and obviously give some money to MLH, because he goes out on the road and gives out water. He's got a Cash App, I think, or something, or whatever. PayPal and all the rest of it on his website. So I do. I think that I'll just put that in.
Alan, it's hard to exchange money here, but I still have that 20-pound note that you sent me. So
and can I say something else too? For those who, and I understand, I'm not putting anybody down. Everybody has their own financial issues. And let's say there are people who, don't even have $1. And I understand that, because you're literally living month to month. Trust me, I understand that. But another thing you can do is go into your closets, and I don't mean pull out trash, but everybody has something in your closet that just doesn't fit you anymore. or
Yes.
shoes that don't fit you, that you could go to the homeless and say, listen, here's a slightly used jacket or a pair of shoes, or, it's summertime. Here's a short sleeve shirt that I really don't wear anymore. Make sure they're washed and clean. But it'll take you a second to say, hey, would you like this? Or do you know somebody who could use this? You can give, instead of throwing it out, instead of giving it to a store who's going to sell it, okay, take that time to just donate it to the person directly. I
Yeah.
understand everybody doesn't have cash, but it takes 1 second to, well, in some people, obviously more, to go through their closet and say, you know what, I haven't worn this in forever. So let me go give this to somebody who could use it. It's
Yeah.
amazing how good you're going to feel. And it didn't cost you anything. It was something that you see, but you never use. Take that time to go through that. When you go through switching your wardrobes around, put aside those things that you're not going to use and donate them to the people who need it. Don't let somebody sell it. Okay.
Yeah.
Give it for free,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're thinking of
Hey,
having
you can't
garage
change that
sale-
£20 note over in the US. What's happening?
what's that, Alan? I'm sorry.
You couldn't change the 20 quid. You couldn't change it.
No, well, I went to my bank. It's a credit union, and they work a little differently, and they don't do that service. So I have to go to a different bank, like an actual
Oh,
bank to get it.
sorry. Next time I'll try and change it over in my side.
No, it's okay,
Into
Alan. I'll exchange it. Trust me, it's not your fault at all. Don't sweat it. But you know what, guys? I think that's gonna just about wrap it up for us. I've got a couple of I'm actually getting donated to me, and I don't want to say who it's from because I don't know if they want to know, but somebody's donating a cube ice chest to me today. So
nice.
that'll be really cool to cool down the water. Which yesterday I got a bottle of water and it was warm. Nothing worse than warm water, drinking warm water. I'm telling you. So
Oh,
if you can cool down
MLH, can you read Strange and Unusual's comment, please?
yes, I legit gave a homeless dude my shoes and it made that man's day. Truth, true. Absolutely, man.
How many shoes do you just decide you don't like anymore, you don't want to wear? Don't throw them out. You can wash them. Take the shoelaces off first. Wash them. When you dry them, put a tennis ball or something in there. Let them dry out, or you can even air dry them, and then put the shoelaces back on. So this way they're nice and clean. You can wash the shoelaces separately, but they don't come clean when you have them on the shoes, and give them away. They need shoes. They need socks. When you go buy, a lot of times you can, get a bag of socks and you might only need 6, but there's a bag of 12 there, and it's only $2 more. Get the bag of 12 and take the 6 pairs that you didn't need and donate them with a pair of shoes and say, here you go.
Yeah. And
literally.
It's okay to talk to people too. Not everybody is a tyrant monster.
Yeah,
so
they're not going to hurt you.
So not everybody is a crack addict or a drug addict
And here's something: if you're afraid of them, and I understand some people are afraid of people, okay, then you know what? Why don't you ask your family and a couple of friends on who wants to join you, and ask them to get their things together, and you can do it as a little group. So you don't have to go by yourself. Safety in numbers. Okay. So ask neighbors or family or friends, hey, listen, you know what? I want to, go donate some of my stuff today. What weekend works good for you? Set it up where, people have time to go through their closets and stuff, and, make sure things are clean, and then just go and donate them. Because there's different sizes out there. Everybody's going to have different sizes. It doesn't matter if you're a 0 or if you're a 2X or a 3X. You know what I mean? Somebody's going to be able to use that stuff.
Yeah.
Especially like over in your part of the neck of the over in America, is like it's so depressing to see all the tents getting smashed to pieces and things like that. It's just unbelievably.
It's heartbreaking,
sad.
isn't it?
Yeah. It's no need for it. It's just no need.
Yeah.
But it's just
be like Strange Unusual. He says, while I skate around, I try to talk to one person a day that's homeless. It helps me with my anxiety, helps them. It helps see that they're acknowledged, that they're, I mean, that's That's good.
Yeah.
And
Strange
I
and
know
Unusual has such a beautiful heart.
he is a great person.
Truly.
I love Strange and Unusual. He's just a good dude all the way around, and mad respect to you. But anyways, I got to end this stream. I want to thank everybody for joining. Ellie, thank you so much for everything that you do. You know I love you. Alan, it's always a pleasure to hear you, sir. I hope you have a really great day, and hopefully it doesn't rain too much on you today.
Alan is awesome. I'm such a great supporter. I love seeing him in chat. It makes me smile. When I see your name come up, I smile instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. That's made my day. That's just
I mean
beautiful.
that. I get a smile. I get so excited. I'm like, Alan's here. Yay.
Yeah, I know. Alan is you want to talk about
the madman from London.
You need more Camberwell carrots there.
Oh, no, don't talk. Well, I mean, I'm not, I've had a few joints now and again. And man, the other stuff the other day, Jesus, well, but it's beautiful to talk to Ellie and yourself, Mexican, and with great people you are, and Reagan as well. I mean, it's just something for me to sort of hang on to, you know what I mean? And I will never ever leave your. I haven't got any YouTube subscriptions. I've got Ellie and your Mrs. Mexican
Bernie.
on there, Bernie. Yeah, I've got Bernie, and I've still got her on there. But just in case, it's always good to have over there. If you've got 50 subscribers, you can go live, and that scares the pants off the police. Once you say, man, you've got a camera, you go, well, I'm not going live now.
Speaking of, I'm really close to 3,000. I don't know if you guys.
That'd be good.
I have
a celebration.
Nice little celebration when I hit that number. So tell your friends. That's the only way that this channel is going to grow. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for joining in chat. Strange and Unusual, Jonathan Mazzilli, Jamie Todd, Damon was in there. I know I'm going to be missing a ton. Knowledge is power. Make sure you check out his channel. He's an awesome dude. Who else? Who else was in here? Did I miss? If I miss you, I totally apologize. Dillhole was in here. KJ, Authority Check. Who else? Tapatios, Damon Reeves. I'm scrolling through. Mitten State. Thank you for joining. V Smoke, of course, Alan B. King Solomon was in there. Lucinator was in there.
Polyglocks just came in.
Polyglocks just came in. I think Polly timed things perfectly. Yin Yang was in there. What's up, Yin Yang? But Polly, thanks for joining. Really appreciate you. But I think that's gonna wrap it up. Let me see. I think I got a Miami Vice little outro. Let me see if this is.
But before you do, I want to say one last end comment. Is just remember that no matter what your status is in this world, every single one of you have the power to make a difference.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
All right. For that, for Ellie and Alan and everybody else out there, I hope you guys have a peaceful day. Take care. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. And until the next one, I'll see y'all later.
Cheers, mate.
Hey, King Charles. Nice to see you. But anyways, later, everybody.